Hello, everyone. I am Clay Morris with the Amazing Grace Sports Network. We here at the network have observed that there is a wealth of basketball talent at the high school level. Talent that wants to make the leap to the college level, but are not sure of what they need to do in order to get there. Now, the following is an interview with Gerard Tarin, who is a member of the Utah Jazz's G League affiliate, the Salt Lake City Stars. Now, for all of you hopeful high schoolers, Gerard did not stop playing organized basketball until he was a freshman in high school in Tampa Bay, Florida. And even then, the season had already started. But by his senior year, he was a standout. And with less than 4 years of organized basketball under his belt, he received a scholarship from a Division II school. From there, he has gone on to the G League. In this interview, we are going to talk about what a high school basketball player needs to focus on in order to take the next step onto the college platform. How it grew from not even a dream to a dream and then into fruition.
You know, in high school, every kid in high school, if you play sports, everyone wants to play varsity. Everyone wants to be on the basketball team because there's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot of popularity. There's a lot that comes with it. And at that time and age and era, you care about friends. You care about people liking you. I remember in our area where right here in Lee County, what they would do is the freshmen would play around like 4, then you have JV, and then varsity plays later at night, maybe like 7:30. And so after I would play my freshman games, I would just stick around, especially if it's home game. I have to wait for my family to come pick me up anyway. I'll just stick around. When my love for the game started growing more and more, because now I had that desire of like, man, I can go to college and go to college for free. And, at the time I wanted to become an architect. I wanted to go to school for architecture. Right. And so I'm like, I can go to school for free and I could take this thing serious. And so that's when that transitioning from like just loving the praise goes from forget the praise. I fell in love with this game, and this can potentially change the trajectory of my life.
That's right. Now you have a bigger goal. You have this small goal, and now you're looking at it, and it's like a flower that's blooming. It's getting bigger right before your eyes. So you're developing all these skills. Now I'm seeing this in my mind's eye. You're developing all these skills from the time that when you're a smaller guy and you're playing basically a guard position at 6'2" or whatever. Even though you're bigger than everyone, you have to be able to put the ball on the floor because you're not that tall at 6'2", 6'3". Now you're dribbling the ball. Now you bring it to the rebound. So you're getting your game well-rounded by the time you hit senior year. Now, senior year involves going into college. Now, you made the transition, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, okay? And then we're going to talk about what you think kids need to do if they want to make that transition from high school to college. Now, we're going to go into describe, your process of going from high school to college.
My process was difficult. I want to sit here and just kind of tell a nice story to get people feeling inspired or feeling good. My process was difficult.
We want to feel good now. This story is a good story. You're 17 years old.
Yeah.
Most kids are not graduating college till 18 plus. You're graduating much younger, and you're thrown into an adult situation away from home. And to do that, so takes a lot of mental fortitude.
Because you can be a great player in high school, but then you go to a school and the way that they run their system and it doesn't fit you, you're gonna struggle. You're gonna struggle. You can struggle so bad that it hinders your game and hinders your development.
Right.
And so get exposure. Get connected with people. Connection is key. Get connected with people that has walked that journey or that's been down that road, that can give you the advice, that can give you the resources. Because that's very, very important. I'm just trying to think back and brainstorm here. Like, I mean, that's very important that a young guy at 17, 18, young man trying to transition from high school to college, you want to make sure that the college you're going to fits your style of basketball so you can continue to grow and blossom. You don't want to go somewhere and you're 6'8", 6'9", and you're playing the 5, and in high school you were playing the 2 and the 3.
Right.
It's just not gonna, that's just not beneficial to your game, because you have the handle, now you can't use it because you have to post up and set screens. Be honest with yourself. When I was in high school, there were a lot of guys who, when they left high school, they were like, man, listen, I'm going Division I. And I'm there's nothing but that I want but Division I. There were a lot of guys also that rather go to JUCO route or a D2, D3 NAIA. And either guys sell themselves too short or they were too high. And so you've got to know your game. You've got to know where you're at. You got to be able to look in the mirror and know, listen, I still have some weaknesses that I need to improve on. I still have some areas I need to sharpen. So if I know I'm not going to get no playing time at this mid Division I school, I need to look for a low Division I school or a high Division II or a Division I JUCO, because this journey is about growing. It's about developing. We have not reached the top. So there's no need to come from high school and say, oh, I'm going Division I, and then you just sitting on the bench for the next 4 years. Rather, we could take the journey of, listen, I'm going to go JUCO. I'm going to grow. I'm going to get better. Then I'm going to go to mid Division I or high Division I or whatever route it is. But it all starts with the self-awareness as a player of knowing, where am I at and what's my potential gap look like, of how good can I get in X amount of time.
You know what? In talking to you, it sounds like we need more people who are interested in this type of thing when it comes to the growth of the player. Sort of like a coach, but a personal coach. Someone who can assess where a person's at and say, listen, you might want to look at it this way, you might want to look at it that way, or X, Y, or Z. Because a lot of kids are getting left in the gap because they don't have that person who's had that experience around them.
When we were born and our moms and dads were bringing us up, many of us as little 3, like I have a niece at home, when she was 3, 4, like they have to keep reminding her, even now at 5 years old, like you need to go brush your teeth.
Yeah.
But when she becomes an adult, that's going to become an everyday thing in her life because of the consistency. So where there's no ifs or but about going to brush your teeth, it's just what you do. And so that's how I view working and training and lifting and doing all these things is every day. Even resting needs to be a consistent pattern, right? The importance of, okay, what do I do in my days of rest? Am I just laying around the house, or I'm doing mobility stuff, stretches, taking care of my body, taking care of my ankles, my back, and my hips?
Right.
The big area, eating right. The area in my body that's going to allow me to function and perform well on the court. And so that's why I use the word consistency. It's an overall thing.
Determination, consistency, and awareness. These are the things you need to know if you want to go to college from being a high school player. You might be gifted. Even if you go there, if you don't have these 3 categories, and you know of players who have washed out the first year, and I know of players who have washed out the very first year, the freshman year, when they're not getting the playing time and they didn't adhere to these 3 things, they're gone after 1 year, and there goes your career.
Your talent and your gifts will make room for you, but your character will keep you there. In other words, part of our character is us knowing that we have to get up and consistently work. And so we can be talented and we get to college. Yeah. But I promise you, the guy down the bench that has not played wants to play, and he's going to keep working. And the coaching staff, they're already recruiting for next year.
That's
you can
right.
find yourself sitting on the bench. Don't just depend on your talent and your gift. Work it. Work the talent and the gift. Make it unstoppable. Why not just, continue to blossom that talent and that gift, continue to stretch it and develop it even more?
I couldn't agree with you more. So we're ended here, and we'll come back for the next interview in which we will talk about your college experience that leads to the pros. Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely.
Gerard Tarin, thank you very much. And I can't wait to do the next one, which will be soon. We'll get this one up, and then we'll work on the next one and get that one up so that kids will have a way to take a look at this one, take a look at that one, and then eventually the pro. And they'll have an idea of what it takes to get to the pros, one step at a time. Okay?
Okay.
Peace out.